Show you some of the debris. I say its highest point, it completely covered this step. It was getting up on this step right here. I think it might even cover this step a bit. Which, I mean, that's at least, that's like 4.5 feet tall right there. Maybe even close to 5 feet up on the house. And I'll show you what the basement looks like. And we've cleaned up some, and this is what the basement looks like. There's the freezer. That standing freezer and that gun cabinet are probably okay. You just see it's mud and dirt, and the refrigerator was standing over next to that window, and it's all the way over here. We took all the meat out of it and threw it away because it's just gonna get rotten if we didn't. And he got up in that four-wheeler, so that four-wheeler's probably destroyed. We ain't really tried to start it yet. I mean, and all this stuff outside here, this was in the basement. We've carried this stuff out, so this was all strewn about the basement. So, I mean, the basement's just destroyed. And, you know, here's this boat. I'll show you this boat here. We took a ride in. And it was actually in that building, and Dad had the mind to drag it out of that building before it got too bad and put it in the basement in case we needed it. And the water was getting so high. Mom and Dad kind of thought it was gonna, the water was gonna take us and house and everything. So we tried to get out in this boat, and we opened the garage door, and you can see too the garage door's bent. I mean, it's bent right there. I mean, it's just the other side of it. It's just bent the bottom of it. And when we got out right here, the current wasn't so bad, but farther you get down, right through here, it's pretty calm. Excuse the dog if they start barking. She's been barking all day. But anyway, you can see the glass jars out here. It's the front yard. But anyway, when we was in that boat, we, Mom and Dad's gonna try to take us over and get on that bank up there and get up to the road. And right here where all this gravel is, starting about right over there, you can see the start of the gravel is. All this right here, the current was just so crazy, it would just drag you under. And we got about right here and realized that wasn't gonna work. So we come back over this way. Dad had the thought maybe to, if I could get behind my car and go up that way, it might not be so bad. But once we got about right here, and this was 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's pitch dark. You couldn't see much. And we got about right here, and I think Dad kind of got the idea that, you know, the current around here was even crazier. I mean, the current around here was, I mean, it looks like maybe it's even, see how that's tilted down at the bottom? And see, these are straight lined up. This one is just, it's just off a little bit, if you can see that. And the current was knocking up against this so hard that, you know, that's what we was kind of afraid of, about knocking the house out. And I think we got to this point though, when the current was so crazy that Dad realized we just have to, you know, if we can't go this way, and we'd have to go that way. So we grabbed this phone line right here, and this phone line was our lifesaver, because it was bogged down so much that we could actually grab it. I mean, it was down to right here. I mean, it was lower than me. I mean, I'm 6 feet, but it was so low I could just easily grab it, and we pulled ourselves back over this way, and we got about right here, and this is where we got about right here, and it about took Mom under. I mean, she was just barely above water, hanging on to the boat, just praying. And Dad was on this side. He was in a little bit better shape, mostly because he's taller, and the current there wasn't quite as swift as the current here. I mean, the current here was crazy, and I blacked out for about 20 seconds. I don't remember about 20 seconds. And the next thing I knew, we were way, the current must have dragged us way over here, because this is where we were. And and the water completely covered this fence. I mean, the boards, you could just barely, I mean, it was right at the edges of these boards, and it was completely over what's bogged down here. I mean, you didn't even, the boat went completely over this right here. I mean, it didn't even phase it, because it just went over it. And we were on this side of the fence, and Dad realized it wasn't gonna work. We had to get back to the house. So I got back to the front of the boat, and the weight, kind of used my weight to carry us back over this side of the fence. I remember one point too, before I blacked out, this thing got caught up in that phone line, and I grabbed it and threw it out of the boat. That was right before I blacked out. I don't know why I remember that, but I remember that. And the next thing I knew, we was over here. And then anyway, once we got back over here, I mean, it's crazy right here. The current, there's Bank of Hyman mug washed down here, but it's crazy. The current, it was just right here. It got crazy. It just stopped us from going any farther. And you know, this was all in a matter of about maybe 3.5, 4 minutes. So we just had to think on our feet. I mean, maybe we could have just floated over the fence and got over that way and went up the bank there, but I guess we didn't think about it. And it's pitch black out, so you just didn't see. So we come back over to the house and got inside and went up and waited it out. And thank God we survived it. I'll show you some of the foundation changed, and you can see how it's just rooted up all that dirt and gravel there. And this building right here, everything that was in this building, Dad got some stuff out, but I mean, it destroyed a lot of it. There's a weed eater there. You can just see mud. It's just like the basement. It's just destroyed. And it slid off its foundation a little bit, but we might be able to salvage the building. I don't know. But it'd have to be cleaned out and everything, pressure washed. And even down through here, you know, we had a picnic table over here, over the hill over here. It's completely gone. It's just a bunch of sand over there. And here's where we kind of bury most of our dogs. And it just looks different. It didn't look, I don't think it didn't take the dogs or nothing, their bodies, but and right here was a 4-wheeler path I'd walk all the time, just about every weekday. And it's just gone. There is no path. You get the start of the path's here, but this is where it ends, right here. And you take this path and you'd walk all the way around beyond that fence out there down to about the edge of the road. It's a great place to walk, but it ain't there no more. All these trees are over it, and all this debris over it, and it's just the sand washed up so much it changed the whole foundation that it don't even look like a path anymore. So you got the old tire washed up there. It was actually tangled up in that barbed wire there, and we got out yesterday morning after the water went down a little bit and got it out. This lawnmower was in the basement. You can see it got up over the seat, but Dad managed to drain it and put new spark plugs in it, and it started. So it's probably salvageable, which is crazy when you think about it. And this Jeep's okay. It was out toward the barn. It got up in some parts of the barn, but not all of it. The Jeep, I think, is fine. Mom's car here is destroyed. This is Sarah's car. I mean, they're here. They didn't wash away, but it just got up in them. I'll show you what my car looks like. Well, part's locked. See all the mud and stuff? Completely over this steering wheel. Stinks to high heaven. Now, sitting out in the sun, got up over the radio panels, and I mean, it's just destroyed it. Here's the garden. Ain't nothing fit deep in the garden now.